Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there. But let's end with the Tommy John movie, because this is really cool. So this is a screenplay, script that you have written. It is written. It is going through drafts still. How close is this to
120 drafts, all done? The script is as good as I can make it.
Okay, so this is the biopic. This is the story of Tommy John, of Tommy John surgery, right?
Yes. If you're familiar with like a movie like 42 or 61, those are movies that try to grab an incident and do it in 1 year. The 1 year tale of color barrier being broken, or the home run chase in 1961. What I tried to do is a 10-year piece of Tommy John's life from 1968 to 1977. He had the surgery in 74. So it's kind of this build up to the injury. You see the cortisone that he takes, the strain that he's putting himself through, the fact that he knows his arm is going to explode at some point, and he's just pitching to that eventual outcome. And then the miraculous doctor who worked for the Dodgers named Dr. Frank Jobe, who was a polio orthopedic surgeon, who came up with this incredible concept of taking the palmaris longus, which is a tendon out of your opposing forearm, going into the elbow, taking out your ulnar collateral ligament, and then literally sewing together your elbow at the joint with your tendon. And miraculously, they tried this 1974, kind of, the $6 million man, RoboCop, this guy, bring him back with some science fiction that had never been tried before. And miraculously, it worked. He went on to pitch 13 more seasons to the age of 47, pitching with the Yankees. The Yankees literally signed him at 36 years old to the second multi-million-dollar contract a pitcher's ever made. So it's like not just the fact that this surgery revolutionized the game. Like literally, I know this is wild to say, but I look at it in the same light as like a Roberto Clemente, a Jackie Robinson moment of when this moment happened, it changed the game forever. The game would never be the same.
It is a surgery, like you said, it has saved so many careers.
Yes.
What year did he get his surgery? You would know.
74.
1974. I don't have the numbers in front of me. If I was more prepared, I would. But an interesting stat I'd be curious about is since 1974, so 1975 and beyond, how many Hall of Fame pitchers have been inducted that have not had Tommy John surgery?
That have not.
Yeah.
So there's still a few, like Maddox, Glavine, Johnson.
Right, but I bet you it is like almost single digits, maybe.
Now we're getting to the point where it's 50% of them.
Right.
Now your Hall of Famers.
Like you can't have a 20-year career at this point without having at least one Tommy John, right?
Like look at the difference. Like Strasburg had it to start. DeGrom had it as a shortstop. Corey Seager has had it as a shortstop. Salvador Perez has had it. Ohtani has had it. Like Verlander.
Trevor Story just kind of had it.
Season we just saw from Justin Verlander. .180 ERA at 39. 1 year removed from Tommy John, right? It is a miracle. It's the greatest sports surgery there is.
So this is a, what do they call? And sometimes you read a book and it's like the unauthorized biography of Elon Musk.
Yes.
Right. And this is the story of their life or whatever segment of their life, but it is not done in coordination, not done in cooperation with the subject themselves.
Like Social Network.
Right. Great example there, Mark Zuckerberg. That's not what this is, right? You have been in touch with, you've met Tommy John. This isn't he is given the blessing to this script.
Yes. I talk to Tommy John every once in a while. We're friends. I did some revisions of the script,
and yet you won't pull any strings to get him on the walk off. I can't even believe this.
I think that's probably doable. I could probably talk him to coming out.
I'm putting you on the spot here, Joel, but I mean, I would love to talk to him for sure.
In the last 3 years, he's dealt with some like incredible health issues. He had this horrible reaction to COVID where literally his sense of touch was taken away from him for like 6 months. So he had to go through rehab to literally
Wow.
regain feeling in his body. So I don't even know if I should be saying that, but
We'll
it's
flip
okay.
that out. Yeah,
No, it's all right. I think that's
yeah.
fine. But yeah, no, we're friends. He's given me a 4-year release on the story rights so that we can make it into a film. And it's currently with, I don't know if the
Hold on.
fans of, yeah,
By everything you've said so far, this sounds like a very legitimate baseball movie.
mhm.
There's no more legitimate though than if you could somehow, here's an idea for you, get this into the hands of Kevin Costner, who is like the baseball movie guy. Is that possible?
It's in his hands, right?
No way. It is not.
Yes. It is in Kevin Costner's hands and Billy Crystal's hands as we speak. And
I'm in disbelief right now, Joel.
I had a draft. I had to do a draft for American Zoetrope, which is Francis Ford Coppola and Fred Roos. You might not know those names, but that's Godfather
Of
for
course.
the fans out there. These are the producers of The Godfather. Coppola is the writer of The Godfather. Um, that was the company that first got a hold of this material and championed it. So they're the ones that are taking it and bringing production companies together to split the bill and to make a 65-70 million dollar A-list baseball film
This
set
is
in,
cool, man. Oh, I have goosebumps just thinking about
yeah, and
this.
Costner would be the perfect Dr. Job. So that's where my fingers crossed. He actually is an Alberta resident at times. He comes to Alberta. I believe he's got a ranch close to Calgary. He did
The
the
Yellowstone. I've heard of it.
yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, like he in real life he does, and he went to the Calgary Stampede. Or he was
Right.
the parade host or something.
Right.
So
And you're an
hopefully,
Alberta resident for anybody who doesn't know. I'm in Alberta. Scott's in Alberta. For anybody who doesn't know, you are a big Hollywood writer, also out of
not
Alberta.
little, yeah. I've got my toe dipped into Hollywood. That's for
Well,
sure.
you just had a nice little award at a film festival. Let's talk about that for a second on our way out here.
We won best international short at Cannes, at the Cannes International. So Cannes does
I've heard of
a
that.
yeah, they do a subsidiary short festival through their main feature festival, and
Very
we
cool.
won best international short for a really just a screenplay that I'd written about a writer who doesn't like writing the classic Hollywood system anymore, and that weirdly enough has it won an award at the Canadian Short Film Festival. It's won about 15. You can look it on IMDb. It's won about 15 awards so far.
That's
That
very
has
cool.
literally led to my career kind of exploding over the last
That's
year
very
and a half.
cool. Very cool. All right. Last thing I want to just pick your brain on the way out the door here. Chat GPT. Screenwriting. Your job is obsolete.
I plugged in one of my scenes to Chat
Oh
GPT
God.
for
Yeah.
it to write Tommy John and Dr. Job sitting down and discussing his his injury and it being a career-ending injury. And they sit down and he's like, I got something terrible to tell you, Tommy. You're probably never going to be able to pitch again. You got this injury, you blow out your arm. But great news, there's a surgery. It's called Tommy John surgery. And we might be able to, so I'm sitting there and I'm reading this and I'm like, you almost got me there, Chat GPT.
Oh my God.
This
That
was
is
almost the
hilarious.
scene
That
until
is.
it figured out that they had invented the solution before the solution was invented. And
Oh my God. That's amazing.
maybe maybe in a year or so, my job will be
That's a whole interesting time travel paradox movie. That's what that is.
exactly.
I'm into it. It's sci-fi at that point. Very cool. All right. Well, we're pushing 90 minutes now, Joel, so I can't take up any more of your time. Appreciate you coming out here. Appreciate the long discussion on Shapiro and Atkins, on
I hope I'm
sticky
wrong.
stuff, on
Hope I'm wrong,
everything.
everybody.
Hope you're wrong too. We'll have you back next week, of course. Talk about all the things we didn't get time to today. Appreciate everybody who watched the longer than usual clips today. Everybody who listened and downloaded on iTunes, Spotify, whatever the case may be. Anything else to add, Joel, before we wrap it up?
I'm good, man. That was fun. It was
All
fun.
right.
Sorry for the rambling and the wild emotions. I get carried away with this team.
Not
Sometimes
at all.
playing the devil's advocate.
Love it. All right, Joel, we'll catch you on the next one, and go Jays, go.